Hello and welcome to the Poetry Pea cast. And, drumroll please, it's our birthday. We're officially entering our 9th year of podcasting. I know, I can hardly believe it either. That's nearly a decade of haiku, Senryu, and me waffling. If you've been with us from the start, thank you, you're a saint. If you're new, you're most welcome. You've joined at a good time because the early episodes are, well, shall we say, safely locked away in a drawer marked character building. One day, when I've had enough coffee and maybe something a bit stronger, I might re-release a few. They'll give everyone hope that their haiku journey, like all of ours, begins with more than a few notable disasters. When I started out, I was sticking stubbornly to the 575 format, thinking that that was the golden rule. It took the gentle guidance of a number of people, especially Alan Summers, thank you Alan, to help me embrace the contemporary approach. I'll pop a link to his Call of the Page website in the show notes if you want to follow that up. Speaking of celebrations, we've got another thing to celebrate. One of our own, Mr. Joshua Sinclair, has just won first place in the Haiku Society of America's Haiku Award in memory of Harold G. Henderson, with this little beauty. Dandelion chain, I weave myself into the meadow. Dandelion chain, I weave myself into the meadow. Big congratulations, Joshua. Well done. Now, since it's a birthday party, I thought we'd do something a little playful. A Senryū Pop Quiz. Yes, you're popping the editor's hat on today. I'm going to read you a series of short poems, haiku, Senryu, and a few that might be neither, that we might controversially classify as micropoems. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to decide which is which. Or you could just listen to the poetry, I guess. But if you do decide to put your editor's hat on, nip over to the Poetry Pea website, where I'll print the poems and my assessment of them. And, you know, if you're watching this on YouTube, of course, you can read the slides along with me. Anyway, on the website, you'll see whether you and I agree, and you can send me a mail to let me know. There's no right and wrong, though, really. No gold stars, nothing to win. Today, it's all about sharpening your eye, and maybe your pencils, if you're old school like me, and making editorial decisions. I'm going to give you the criteria I'm using. You'll remember them from last week. What? You didn't listen to last week? Shame on you. If that's the case, stop now and go back, because you're going to definitely be at a disadvantage. I'm going to start by giving you some criteria. These are some ideas from Klaus-Dieter Wirth. He said that a writer of haiku is an observer, that they speak from their own experience, they share their experience with us, they make a discovery and pass it on. They use their intuition, they are respectful in approach, and they focus on the present. And I'm going to add something else, which I'll talk about in a minute, but the writer of a haiku uses a meaningful kigo. The writer of a senryu, on the other hand, is a commentator, is an outside critic, gives us their interpretations, shares their knowledge with us, shows and instructs us, questions things, exposes things, and can be irreverent in approach, possibly even vulgar, which we have seen in the past. They analyze things from a distance and can tend towards aphorisms. But this is something important to bear in mind for today's quiz. Otherwise, we are really going to be at odds with one another. There are many schools of thought when it comes to haiku. I've covered some of the more influential schools coming out of the Japanese tradition. I've also looked at German language haiku. In the future, I promise I'll do more work on the more contemporary English language schools. But when you're thinking about today's poetry, remember this. The Poetry Pea school of haiku believes a meaningful seasonal reference is necessary in haiku. Not in Senryu, just in haiku. And I have one last piece of info to give you a helping hand. Anita Virgil wrote this. Simplistically speaking, if it is a man within the world, it is haiku. If it is the world within the man, it is Senryu. Took me a while to get my head around this one, so I'll read it again. Simplistically speaking, if it is a man within the world, it is haiku. If it's the world within the man, it is Senryu. So get comfy, get your poetic antennae twitching, and let's see if we can tell which of these little gems are haiku, which are Senryu, and which are perhaps just doing their own thing entirely as micropoems. Are you ready? Then let's begin. Number 1. Rose pruning. Hidden expressions in the wide brim hat. Rose pruning. Hidden expressions in the wide brim hat. Shizuku Tsukino. Poetry Pea Journal 224. Number 2. Honeymoon. The bees in our hair. Honeymoon. The bees in our hair. Nikki Gutierrez. The Heron's Nest. Number 3. Pinching wind. I shut my window to her parting words. Pinching wind. I shut my window to her parting words. Anju Kishore, Haiku Kata. Number 4. Leafing through an old address book. Autumn chill. Leafing through an old address book. Autumn chill. Tom painting from Frog Pond. Number 5. Freeing Granny from the Wolf. Woman's Shelter. Freeing Granny from the Wolf. Woman's Shelter. Susan Birch. Poetry Pea Journal. Number 6. Stained glass. A shift of light in the confessional. Stained glass. A shift of light in the confessional. Jonette Downing, The Heron's Nest. Number 7. Football stadium. The Neanderthals among us. Football stadium. The Neanderthals among us. Stephen A. Peters from Frog Pond. And eagle-eyed viewers on YouTube might have noticed that I am wearing my Crystal Palace strip today, because today Crystal Palace are playing a European competition game at home. It's our first season in Europe. And this is my lucky t-shirt. Can't take it off today. So, as this is coming out a wee bit later, you can check up and see how we did. Hopefully, my lucky t-shirt did the trick. But I don't think, in fairness, Stephen is talking about Crystal Palace fans, because obviously we wouldn't be seen as Neanderthals. But he speaks of a football stadium and he's writing in Frog Pond. So good chances are he's talking about an American football chaps and chapesses and not British football chaps and chapesses. Anyway, let's not go down that route. Number 8. Last quarter moon. The rest of the way without you. Last quarter moon. The rest of the way without you. From Eleanor Nicolay, haiku kata. Number 9. Wanderlust. Tracing a finger through sprinkled flour. Wanderlust. Tracing a finger through sprinkled flour. David Green, The Heron's Nest. Number 10. Summer night. I grope my way to her heart. Summer night. I grope my way to her heart. Ernest Witt, Modern Haiku. Number 11. Mayflies. Casting a line the length of my lunch hour. Mayflies. Casting a line the length of my lunch hour. Chad Lee Robinson, The Heron's Nest. Number 12. January snow. Crossing the easy things off the list. January snow. Crossing the easy things off the list. Mary Stevens, Modern Haiku. Number 13. Autumn rain. Scribbles in the margins of a second-hand book. Autumn rain. Scribbles in the margins of a second-hand book. Olivier Schopfer, Frog Pond. Number 14. Pressed flowers. The faded colours of her first date. Pressed flowers. The faded colours of her first date. Linda Love, The Heron's Nest. Number 15. She sows seeds, sprouting freckles. She sows seeds, sprouting freckles. Agnes Ava Savage, from Modern Haiku. Number 16. Winter moon. Pulsating in silence, my dark side. Winter moon. Pulsating in silence, my dark side. Ivan Gassina, Heron's Nest. "17. Cruising with the top down, dragonfly. Cruising with the top down, dragonfly. Marilyn Ashbow, Modern Haiku. 18. Post-deluge. A yellow glove clings to the broken branch. Post-deluge. A yellow glove clings to the broken branch. William Scott Galasso from Frog Pond. 19. Drifting into the conversation. A maple leaf. Drifting into the conversation. A maple leaf. Mary McCormack from Presents. 20. A finch through a fence link perfectly timed. A finch through a fence link perfectly timed. That's from our old friend Peter Jastrzemski at the Heron's Nest. 21. Unsaid words, the last wren of the day. Unsaid words, the last wren of the day. Crystal Simone Smith from Modern Haiku. Two Little Ducks, number 22. Yes, I do feel a bit like a bingo caller doing this. So number 22. Mount Eden. We play hide and seek with the rain. Mount Eden. We play hide and seek with the rain. David Cox, Poetry Pea Journal. 23. Long ago war. A child shows the way through the minefield. Long ago war. A child shows the way through the minefield. Kevin Valentine from Presence. Number 24. Recession. The untended garden full of butterflies. Recession. The untended garden full of butterflies. Mira Rem from Frog Pond. 25. Frozen stream, this desire to be stilled. Frozen stream, this desire to be stilled. Kelly Sargent, The Heron's Nest. 26. Grandma's kitchen, putting her old teacup away with care. Grandma's kitchen, putting her old teacup away with care. John Hawkhead from Poetry Pea. 27. Family photo. One smile already fading as the shutter clicks. Family photo. One smile already fading as the shutter clicks. C.X. Turner, Haiku Kata. 28. Quilting squares, the repeating patterns of a life. Quilting squares, the repeating patterns of a life. Angela Terry from The Heron's Nest. 29. Abstaining from thoughts of you, Lent. abstaining from thoughts of you. Lent. Amita Paul, Poetry Pea. Number 30. Cold War. How I miss your warm toes. Cold War. How I miss your warm toes. Mohuam Maulik, Haitukata. 31. Sorting Hat. Always the last to know. Sorting Hat. Always the last to know. Ivanka Ettinger, Poetry Pea. 32. Temple Stairway. I pause to breathe with the monarch. Temple Stairway. I pause to breathe with a monarch. Manoj Sharma, Frog Pond. 33. Withering Wind. He blames his cabbagey farts on the ghost. Withering Wind. He blames his cabbagey farts on the ghost. Tracy Davidson, from Poetry Pea. I forgot to say at the beginning that all these poems come from 2024. I thought that might make it a sort of level playing field. So that's it for this week's birthday edition of the Poetry Peacast. I hope you enjoyed our Senryū Pop Quiz. How did you get on? Perhaps you're going to have to go back and have another think about it. Were your inner editor and your poetic heart in agreement? Or are you now muttering, oh, could be either or neither, over your cup of tea? Maybe you need something stronger. Don't worry. I'm sure you're in good company. As we went along, did you find yourself questioning, as I did, the number of poems that get published in haiku and Senryu journals, which may be neither? What do you think? Have things improved since Shirani wrote back in, I think it was 2001, that maybe close to half of English language haiku, including many of the best ones, are in fact a form of Senryu? Now remember, we're not assessing for quality. I don't make a distinction in quality between haiku and Senryu. If you write a successful poem in either category, it's a quality piece of work. If, when I've been analysing, I've deemed a poem a micropoem, again, not a quality issue. It's about whether it falls into the haiku or Senryu category, and if it doesn't, well, off it shoots into micropoetry. Now, if you'd like to give us a little bit of a birthday present, here are a few things you could do. You could buy us a coffee, especially if it comes with a slice of birthday cake. You could become a member to help us keep making these episodes and the journals and everything else we do. Or if you're short on funds, but rich in enthusiasm, give us a shout out on social media. Tell your poetry pals, or leave a review wherever you listen, or a comment on YouTube, because honestly, they make a world of difference. And of course, hop over to the YouTube channel and leave your haiku or senryu in the comments under the video prompt. You might just find your work featured in a future show, or in the Poetry Pea journal. Thank you sincerely for listening, and for writing and reading and being part of this growing, generous haiku community. Here's to the next 9 years of discovery and poems that say it all in so few words. And here's to Crystal Palace winning this evening, let's not forget that. So until next time, keep noticing, keep questioning, and as always, keep writing. And don't forget, if you have taken part in the quiz, nip over to the website, see if we agree, and let me know, because it would be quite interesting to do a follow-up to this podcast. Ciao!